Hi, I'm Acoustic Guitar Senior Editor Scott Nygaard with a lesson on incorporating the chromatic scale into your lead licks and rhythm playing. If you're interested, you can see the complete lesson in the September 2008 issue of Acoustic Guitar magazine or online at acousticguitar.com. The chromatic scale, as you may know, is what you get when you play all the half steps on the guitar from one note to the same note an octave higher. Here it is from C to C. Now, as a scale, it isn't that useful, but you can use chromatic notes to connect the steps of a major scale. In this next example, I've added a B flat and a D sharp to the G major scale. The B flat connects the A and B notes, and the D sharp connects the D and E notes. In example 2B in the magazine, I've added an F natural, which connects the E and F sharp notes, and a D flat, which connects the C and C sharp notes. Here we go. Now, you may have noticed that 3 of the 4 notes I added are blue notes. The B flat is the flatted 3rd, the F is the flatted 7th, and the D flat is the flatted 5th. This next example highlights the flatted 3rd to major 3rd sound found in numerous major key blues licks. In this key, it's the F natural to F sharp in the key of D. I'll try that one again a little slower. This is example 3 if you're following along in the magazine. The next example adds some chromatic blue notes, but this time it stresses the minor 3rd, which makes it a good little line for a minor blues sound in the key of G minor. 2, 3, 4. That's example 4. Now, you can use these same chromatic notes as passing tones and to give it a more country style flavor in these next couple of examples. Here's example 5. Example 5 a little slower. In example 6, we have a similar country style lick where the 6ths move down chromatically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You can also use chromatic notes as approach notes to embellish the notes of a chord. This next swing era motif outlines a G major arpeggio starting on the low B. This is example 7. 2, 3, 4, 1. Try that a little bit slower. 2, 3, 4, 1. This next lick is a little more contemporary sounding example that outlines an A minor 9th chord but uses the same approach note idea. 2, 3, 4, 1. And again a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So far, we've been fairly tasteful in our use of chromatics, but chromatic lines can also inspire some sort of flashy licks. These next couple will demonstrate that. This next one, example 9, is fairly easy to play, even though it has a nice sort of flashy sound to it. 2, 3, 4. We'll do that a little bit slower. Example 10 is another sort of flashy chromatic lick that sounds difficult, but is actually pretty easy to play. I'll play it quickly and then a little slower. Here's example 10. You'll notice you just sort of move your first and third fingers down and alternate it with the open string. Here it is slowly. Now, chromatic lines are really helpful for lead guitarists, but they're also useful for rhythm guitarists as well. In this next example, play a couple of chromatic bass lines that a country guitarist might use. I'll play that a little bit slower. Example 11, slower. You can also use chromatic bass lines with some more contemporary sounding arpeggios, as in this next example, example 12. Finally, we'll put a few chromatic licks to use on a simple blues shuffle that I've titled the Chromatic Blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll try that a little bit slower. Chromatic blues slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for joining me in this chromatic lesson. If you want to see the entire lesson, you can check out the September 2008 issue of Acoustic Guitar or see it online at acousticguitar.com.